Joe heard a knock on his door. He gets up, walks around in circles for a few seconds, and then opens it. "Hey, honey, I just made you your tea. Can I come in?" Joe hasn't cleaned his room for over a month, and he knows it. Instantly, his mum starts screaming. "I've had to work all day. What is this? What a mess. What is that? Why there's your clothes over there? What are you..." Joe panics. "Well, I just I need time. You get out. You're just..." Pushes her out. Slams the door. He locks it. He goes to his bed. And he goes on YouTube. He stays there for another 3 hours. Alexander. Alexander heard a knock on his door. He got up and he opened it. "Honey, I made you tea." "What is that?" Alexander took his tea, gave her a big hug. She then said, "Whoa, all this mess." He then told her a joke. And then he thanked his mum for reminding him to clean his room. Before she left, she had a big smile on her face. He said he'd clean it now. She left, laughing. He cleaned his room, grateful for his mother's advice. Okay, so November last year, there was this dinner. So I'd just come out of my room. My mum was all over the place. She was clearly stressed. She was rushing around. And she asked me to go try and get Jeff upstairs. I take a few steps downstairs, go into the hall, and I find him. Tea's upstairs. I walk back upstairs. I walk into the dining room. Well, we're about to get served tea. I'm happy. It smells good. I think it's going to be good. But I know my mum's a bit stressed. She walks in. She criticises me for not getting Jeff. Jeff then walks in. And then everyone sits down. She starts criticising everyone. "Oh, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why can't you eat your food properly? Stop doing that." Went on like that for about maybe 15 minutes. I was completely silent. I felt hurt. And I chose to be silent instead of reacting to hurt properly. Though I guess he didn't know how to react properly. I ate my meal. I actually really enjoyed it. But I felt my mother's gaze. Felt her complaint. Her imperfection mirrored on me. And it felt dreadful. That was very, very long 15 minutes. Heard her criticise everyone. Slowly, I was building up resentment in my head. How can she do this? My brother's eating his food fine. Like, I should be able to eat how I want. Well, yeah, I'll pick those up afterwards, yeah. Well, I did actually get Jeff, you know. Eventually, I go to the bathroom. And I literally just start crying. Probably in there for about 5 minutes. I'm just so sad. I'm just crying and crying. I try to wipe them off to go back in, but I just cry some more. I am so sad. I built up all that resentment and now I'm just so sad. She feels like this monster. Hurting everybody. Eventually, I managed to wipe the tears away and I go back in. I try to stay calm. I sit down. And then I just start shouting at everyone. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? That's wrong. You can't do that. Or I honestly just break down into tears. Start shouting and screaming, and eventually I calm down. I feel awful, embarrassed, ashamed. I feel like I should have reacted better, but just didn't know how. Of course, I still felt like I was right, because in my head I was, yeah. Yeah. But afterwards, I just felt like I could have done that so much better and felt unnecessary as well. So, in this video, I want you to find one thing that I'm recommending and really put your full intention into trying to implement that one thing. I've got 4 pieces of advice here in 4 different stages. The first one will lower your stress. The second one is being calm and present in the situation. The third one is the cure for stressful women. And the fourth one is avoiding pointless arguments. I'll go over each one, starting with lowering stress. I think I'm going to start putting chapters on the video, so there might be chapters, so you can just sort of scroll around and see which one you think would be best for you, depending on whatever your situation is. We'll start with just lowering stress. So it's easy to think that other people are the problem for your stress. It's very easy to think that. But it tends to be that other people are just reflecting your stress back at you. Like, if you feel like everyone you come encounter with is like stressed, it's probably just you who's stressed. Like honestly, bro. So I'm just gonna go over a quick sort of thing that you can do every single day that will just lower your stress. Like that. Like, I've learned so much about lowering stress, about mental health, about all of this sort of stuff. And I honestly think that this is the best way. Okay. Go on a morning walk for at least 5 minutes within 30 minutes of waking up. Make sure it's outside, of course. This is truly incredible, and you can level it up over time, which makes it even better. So, say you wake up at 8 normally. You want to go for a morning walk before 8:30. So within 30 minutes of every single day waking up, I want you to try and go for a walk. Like, that's still enough time to, get dressed and brush your teeth and do whatever, like, normal stuff you need to do. But make sure you get that walk in there every single morning. Make sure it's outside, because the sunlight will really help you with the stress as well. And then over time, I want you to try and level this up. I want you to try and talk to strangers outside. Like, that will actually, it will, like, get rid of your social anxiety, and like that's a lot. It's a lot easier to be in stressful situations when you ain't got social anxiety, but it will help your mental health. Try and find something sort of like naturey you could do. Like, if there is some trees, literally just some trees. Sometimes just some trees over your head is all you need for it to feel like a bit naturey. And you'll have to work out what's naturey and what's not. So literally just walk around your area every single morning, and eventually you'll find some spots that are actually like really nice, that you really enjoy. And then you can just go to that same spot every day. Eventually you'll find your sort of rhythm, so don't worry about that. It won't take too long. Make sure there's nothing covering your head, and make sure that like you're outside, and that you can, like, if you look up, you can see the clouds in the sky, and there's nothing covering that. Try and talk to some strangers. Try and be present. Don't be thinking about some other thing. Try and be present and just think about this right now. Try and think about the walk you're currently on, and not just some side thing that you're thinking about. And I promise that will have some incredible benefits for you. And you'll just feel so much more calm throughout the day. Even your sleep will get better. Like, the amount of benefits from that walk. And then when you come back from your walk, if you want to go an extra step, when you come back from your walk, literally just write things that you're grateful about on that walk. If you want to go like the full way. So that is the first practice. And you could literally do it right now. You could pause the video and go for a walk and come back. Like, I would, bro, if you commented like I actually did that, I would be so proud of you, bro. Like, you've got no idea, mate. Yo, if anyone actually just did that, mate, that's a real guy right there. That's a real guy. Like a guy who's doing that ain't messing around. He ain't like, oh yeah, I'll watch this video. Like, that's a real dude, bro. that is seriously a really good way. Like, I managed to come up with so many things for this YouTube video, and I managed to narrow it all down to 4 things, and that is one of them. And honestly, fantastic. That's changed my life. Back in August, at the time, I was honestly the happiest I had ever been in my entire life. Now, I think I've had happier times since that day, but at the time, it was happiest ever, bro. Honestly. And I truly believe the core of my happiness was literally just a walk. Just a simple walk. That I was doing every single day. Like, right after waking up, within like a couple hours of waking up. But I only do this within 30 minutes. That's quite important. But it was just so good. It was in the summer, so I got the sun as well. It just felt so great. I would go to this naturey spot and I would meditate, and I would literally just exercise, and it felt so great, bro. Honestly, the happiest time of my entire life. And it's honestly, after everything I learned about happiness, I truly believe that a walk is the best way. So go on a walk. If you, for some reason, can't do first thing in the morning, you can still do sometime throughout the day. Like, I take a walk at about 10 o'clock. So it's not like, but it's like the benefit of getting that sunlight right after waking up will help your stress so much as well. It's like, I would highly recommend you do it first thing in the morning. Just honestly, happiest time of my entire life. I don't even say that lightly, bro. I learned so much during that time. And I'm trying to think of one stressful situation I had, and it's just happy memories. Like, sometimes you'll think of a certain time of your life and there aren't any stressful situations. It's just happy memories. I was just happy every single day. I just wake up with a smile on my face. And if you're the kind of guy that wakes up with a smile on your face, how can you get into stressful situations? Like how does it happen? Like, Like, maybe occasionally, but I find that the times in my life where I had the worst situations, like the one I just talked about, is the times that my mental health was in a bad place as well. That I wasn't able to walk when, like, when I just wasn't walking. And that time was the start of November last year. And my mental health was in a really bad spot back then. Like, a really bad spot. That was like a sort of period of just bad mental health. And it's, honestly, I can't stress this sort of walk thing enough. It's so good, bro. The next one. Being calm and present in the situation. So, this I've learned from David Dida. He has this book, and it's fantastic. It's just a really good book. And it's basically like, it teaches you how to it's hard to explain, but he sort of describes it as allowing your full consciousness to manifest spontaneously in this. So basically what he's saying is, you know how you get into stressful situations and you go into sort of like caveman mode. You're just suddenly in caveman mode and you're like what I'm gonna shout and scream and do this and like, it's just like you're not able to react very well. And then you get into like sort of arguments and like just rubbish stuff happens, right? And this guy literally tells you how to stop getting into those. Like people make videos about that guy who's like really, really calm in the stressful situation. Like, oh, dude, I lost my car keys. No way, bro. Find him in the bathroom, yeah. Like, people make videos about that guy. And you can become that guy literally just like that with this technique that I'm about to tell you here. So this is what you do. To remain calm, present in the situation, and allow yourself to become actually smart, so you're able to fix the problem best. You want to start by when the situation happening. So you do this when the situation's happening, and you can practice now. Having full and relaxed breathing. So people say, oh, just take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Just don't be like deep breath, like be deep breath, like so what you want to do it relaxed. A lot of people like they take deep breaths, but it's very like stressed deep breaths. Try and have relaxed deep breaths. So keep your breathing deep and relaxed. It doesn't have to be like fully as deep as you possibly can go. It just has to be like pretty deep. Like maybe say 80% of your maximum deepness. Like, I don't know, like if you're like a number guy, that'll help you. I'm also a numbers guy, so that helps me. So like 80% of your max deepness, that's all you really need. Maybe 60% if you're like really pushing it, but like maybe that's I'll be aiming more like 80 plus. And then you just do full and relaxed breathing. So that will help you so much. It will just keep your head clear. It will just keep your head a lot more clear. Avoid shallow breathing. Shallow breathing is literally like it's like caveman mode is shallow breathing. Full, smart, intelligent, calm mode is deep breathing. That's literally the difference. The difference between calm and like sort of stressed and like anxious is literally just deep breathing. If you can just breathe deeply through these situations, like starting by just practicing now, maybe while you're watching this video, you could just try breathing deeply and just relaxing as well. Relaxing your body, relaxing your breath. You'll like, when you hit the stressful situation, you'll be so much smarter. And then I want you to do this while looking the person into the eyes. So, say you're having an argument with your mum, like we said at the start of the video, where she walks in and your room's messy or something. You could literally just look dead into her eyes. Don't be this guy who's like something stressful happening, and like me looking like in the opposite direction. Like, oh well, I don't know how it happened. Look into her eyes and tell her that, And then there's another technique you can do, where you feel their pain as well as your own. You feel both of your pains at the same moment. You feel the pain, right? If you can do that, it's almost like you have more sympathy for the other person. That might sound like, huh, I don't want to be sympathetic for that annoying person. But it's like, if you can be sympathetic to somebody else, like, you won't get into these arguments. You won't become so stressed. You won't see them as this evil sort of wicked witch that you've got to like sort of like shout at and like argue with. You'll just see them as another person with another viewpoint, which they are at the end of the day, just like you. And it's like, yeah, we're just having a chat. Like, and when you're doing that, you'll stop having these stressful situations, bro. That'll help you so much, mate. So you want to do all of that combined. So if you didn't get that for some reason, we'll just do it right now. Okay, like you can practice on me, and I'm gonna practice on you. You're gonna look dead into my eyes, and I'll look back at you, and then I'm trying to remember what we're doing. And then you're gonna try and sit up straight with us, and then we're just gonna breathe fully and relaxed, and you're going to imagine whatever pain you're feeling right now, whatever annoying situation you're thinking of right now. Like maybe you have a memory, and I'm gonna think of my situation of, I don't know, this story that happened to me, and then I want you to think of the story that I said at the start of this video. I want you to think of my pain throughout that, like as you're looking into my eyes. Okay, we're gonna start now. I'll remind you if you forget. Okay, we're looking into each other's eyes. Remain focused. Okay, now full and relaxed breathing. You don't have to follow my breath, just, yeah. Now I'm going to imagine your pain. Now I'm going to imagine my pain. Now I'm going to imagine both of our pains. And if you could just do that while you're looking into their eyes, you'll relax and take them so much better. You'll talk to them so much better. And if I doubt an argument will occur. And it's almost like you'll almost forgive them. And I know, like, you're probably like, oh, I don't want to forgive that annoying person. Like, forgive for yourself, not for them, bro. The only way you'll ever grow beyond the situation is by forgiveness. And that, it will help you forgive as well. And I find that's, like, I couldn't tell you this before we just did this whole practice thing, because, like, it just opens your eyes, doesn't it? So, I was about to attempt to hit 30 kg on bench press, and like I was really like, come on, bro. Like it was like a big PR for me at the time. So I was like really, really hyped. Like, oh, come on, I've got to do this. Come on, I'm gonna work really hard for this. Come on. Like I kept failing as well. So I do 10 to 15 rep range, which means I just try to hit that sort of rep range. So when I hit 15 reps on 25 kg, so like pushing, like this is bench press, so pushing 25 kg 15 times, I then lower it to 10 reps with 30 kg. But every time I did it, I would always be like 7 reps, 8 reps, 9 reps a few times, 7 reps, 8 reps, and I just wanted to hit 10 because I felt like I couldn't do it. One time I even hit 5 reps. Like, it just felt so trash. And then one day, I just relaxed my breathing. I was full and relaxed. Then I hit my bench press workout. And I hit 30 kg times 10. I was so happy about that, mate. I was so happy about that. I finally hit it. Literally just having full and relaxed breathing was literally the difference between me not hitting it and me hitting it. Like, I swear. Like, every other time I tried, I wasn't doing the breathing, and then the one time I do, it just felt so great. Like, after like a month of these sort of like failed 30 kg attempts. Honestly, like, I just felt so good about it, bro. And honestly, it was that day when I learned the power of actual breathing. Since then, I've actually like really tried to implement breathing. Like there's another breathing technique I do, and it was literally the difference between me being stuck on 25 kg squat times. I think I was only able to do like 7 or something like that. And literally just within like a week or two of me doing this breathing technique, I literally hit like 25 kg times 17. And then the next week it was like 30 kg times 14. Literally just doing that one technique. So I think breathing is so powerful. So don't underestimate like that power of just breathing fully while you're doing this exercise. Like, I wish I had more stories to tell about this, but because I'm so sort of knowledgeable about these stressful situations, I just have them so less frequently. Okay. But it is so powerful. I highly recommend you give that a shot. It's the best thing you can possibly do in this situation, because you could have lower stress. You could know how to avoid an argument. Like, I find this out. You could know how to stop, to cure you could know the cure for stressful women. But if you don't do this technique, a lot of the time you'll find yourself forgetting everything you learn in this video. And I'm not even messing around. Like, if you do some of the other techniques I talk about in this video, there's an actual pretty good chance you'll actually forget what you've learned. To like, you'll forget that you should take this walk, and you'll forget how to avoid pointless arguments, and you'll forget the cure for stressful women. And instead, you'll literally just go into caveman mode. Because when you're in caveman mode, you aren't thinking of that one video, that one educational video you learned from Sam, and that like those forgotten techniques you learn. You're going to be thinking of like, I don't know, like, I mean, like this annoying person, bro. You know what I mean? You're going to be in caveman mode. But if you do this breathing technique, then you'll get out of caveman mode, and it's almost like it will just amplify the rest of what you do, because you'll be able to remember it so much more clearly. You'll be able to talk about it so much more clearly, and it will feel so much better. And that's honestly, that's so big. The cure for stressful women. So, I think a lot of the time, us guys, a lot of the time, the stress in our lives is our mums, bro. Like, been walking in, complaining about this, complaining about our room, complaining about pizza boxes, like whatever your mum's complaining about. But she does a lot of that complaining. And the cure for stressful women, I already said it in the start of this video, but the cure for stressful women, honestly, it's one thing. And it's one thing, and it's highly underestimated, and nobody even talks about it. But once you learn it, it's like a trick, and you never need to learn it again. And honestly, the cure for stressful women is to give her physically expressed love or humor. So, like a joke or a hug, right? And this is a really important tip. If she rejects your love, so say you try and give her a car hug, and she sort of like, say you try and give her a car hug, and she sort of like steps back, and doesn't like calm down, and like, say you give her a hug and she still doesn't calm down. It might not work the first time. Some women just need more love than others, so it's just how it works, right? And your job is to just keep loving her. This will literally fix all of her problems. All of her emotional problems. This will literally fix all of them. The dude that wrote this book, and he's like an expert, like this guy's been studying this stuff for decades, so literally says that 90% of a woman's emotional problems stems from feeling unloved. 90%. So say your mom complains about 10 things when she walks into your room. If you literally just give her a hug, tell her a really good joke, and give her some love in some other ways, then like 9 out of 10, those 10 problems will go away like that. And then there might be one left that you'll have to talk about and like, okay, I'll try and do this, like I'll try to do that. Like, for example, like I started this at the start of this video where Alexander said that he was going to just help his room and he was going to fix it and he was going to like tidy it up, because that's like the one problem left after all of the other ones have been gone, right? So there might still be one left that you'll have to fix, but bro, like I kind of like 9 of them going away, right? Isn't that kind of sick? I mean, apparently I've got a virus. This laptop, put it on mute. There we go. But literally, bro, 9 out of 10. Isn't that insane? So next time your woman, like, or just like any woman, honestly, only any woman, it could be like your like high school teacher, bro. Like, although it might be a bit awkward giving her a hug, so it's just annoying. Like, we live in this sort of culture where it's like, if you give any woman but your mom a hug, it's like, oh, creepy, bro. Like, even though it's like the one thing that women all want, it's like it's honestly mad me. But if you can give your teacher a hug, like, I don't know, some advice to me. I like hugs, but honestly, any form of physically expressed love, any form of sort of like a joke, will work just as well. I think physically expressed love is like slightly better than humor. This guy sort of insinuates that, but yeah, but humor works pretty good as well. So, and don't just tell like a bad joke because like, oh, you heard it in this video and like expect it to have huge results. Like, it's got to be like somewhat funny and like you know, a bit like silly as well. I find silly jokes are the best ones. Like this guy literally says making animal noises. Like it's just honestly anything. Like there's so many things you can do, but you'll learn your own ways. I think like some of the things this guy recommends in this book, I think are a bit weird, but maybe I'll go into them. Like I'm not even gonna say some of them. But anyway, phone out of storage. Any form of love is fantastic as long as it's physically expressed, like, or just a joke. And I think you're just gonna have to grow into your own ways, because whatever's comfortable for you, I guess. Like, so if she rejects it, now this might sound a bit weird, like, oh, rejecting love. Well, you can't like force anything, you know, like honestly, like no policeman is going to come out and arrest you and put the statement as was trying to hug people. Like you're not gonna get in trouble for trying to hug people, bro. Like, you're not gonna get in trouble for making animal noises. You're not gonna get like it's like it's pretty silly, but so it's just it's too stupid to get in trouble for. So like I wouldn't worry about that, and I'm just trying to find my own ways. Like, for now, I'm just gonna do hugging, but I need to learn some more ways because I don't think that's enough for now. Like, you can tell silly stories, like, not just goofiness. Or you can literally... there's one thing that sometimes just naturally happens, but we live in a... Like, we've got this kitchen and it's quite narrow. So when I'm walking through and my mom's walking in the opposite direction, I'll sort of like nudge into her, like just not let her through. It's just... So sort of like... So she can slightly get through, but sort of just nudging her, so it's like... So it's sort of like physically expressed love. Like, it's just, and then, but like the whole time she's just laughing and joking and with a big smile on her face. So it's like, but like, honestly, it's almost like all of her stress just like went away in 1 second flat. It's incredible. You might see this in some couples as well. Like I see this in my mum and her boyfriend, where he'll just tell some funny jokes, and he even gives her a hug sometimes. So it's like all the people who've had relationships for many, many, many years do the same sort of things, or at least the ones that have any like good relationships, right? Honestly, like from this entire book, I genuinely believe I read like half this book, bro, just to make this video, and from this entire book, I truly believe this is the #1 recommendation for avoiding these situations, for handling women. It's just to give them that love. it's like their ultimate craving. Like they literally just want the flow of love, and if you can give that to them, like love is as important to them as a Ferrari and I don't know, like £1 million in your bank account and like a really good looking woman is to you. Like, can you actually think about that, bro? Like, that's how important it is to her, bro. And guess what, bro? You are like 10 times better at giving her love than she is at giving love to herself. This guy describes it as the masculine thunderbolt of love. So, because you are a man, you're able to literally thunderbolt love into her and literally just break her from her trap like that. And it's incredible, bro. And you might find that if you let a woman sort of handle her own emotional problem, she'll do it like 10 times slower than you would be able to if you literally just gave her a hug, bro. Like it's your gift to give, so literally just give it to her and don't stop. If she like doesn't like your hug or like like you push into her and she's just complaining and she's still whining and she's still just more. Honestly, just more. Just keep coming back and finding new ways because that is your job, right? And if you do that, then she'll be able to trust you and you'll get the same effect. So it's like sometimes it'll be a bit more work, but the desired effect is like worth it, honestly, most of the time. And I find like if you do this, the effect will actually a lot of the time last a bit longer. Like, for example, like last night was a really good example of this, where I was just talking to her and I was just making goofy sounds and like, let me think about it. Yeah. I was just making fun of her entire day. I was just making fun of this and like, oh yeah, the wasp and like she was just so complaining about like every little thing, like the wasp buzzing, like literally not even joking. And I was literally just making fun of all of it. And eventually she just cracked up into a smile. Like throughout the whole thing she was complaining like, oh, why are you doing this? And like, oh, do you find pleasure in my pain? Literally she said that. Obviously not. I just want you to be happy, bro. Like, but I just kept going and going and going, and eventually she just cracked up into laughter, and she was just having the same amount of fun, and it was almost like all of her problems died like that. It was just, and it was honestly beautiful, bro. And like, you can genuinely have that effect, and like it might feel like you're going in the wrong direction, like almost like you're going in the wrong direction as you're doing it, but I promise you're going in the right one. Like if she says that it's really annoying and like, oh, why do you do this and do you find pleasure in my pain and like, just, like literally just keep going because like eventually you'll break into her, you'll break into her sort of like soul, and then love will like she'll just suddenly like love will almost like flow or whatever. But basically, you won't have any stressful situation, bro. Like if like honestly, all of the problems that used to be problems won't be problems anymore, apart from like a few small problems, and then you can help her. You can actually help her fix those, and then that's another thing you could do if you want. And just this is honestly the best way. So if you've got a woman complaining about you, if your mom's complaining about your room, then literally just give her as much love as you possibly can, like as much love as you possibly can until she just breaks down into love. And when that happens, it'll almost be like your room is like, oh yeah, it's just your room, right? Like, and if your room is still a problem, then clean it up. Because if she is in this sort of flow of love, and you'll sort of recognize it the first time you see it, and she's still saying that your room is a problem, then you fix your room. Because then it's an actual problem, bro. It's not just some emotional drama she's come up with. Because a lot of the so-called problems of women might seem a bit stupid, because they are. Like, if you really think about some of women's problems, genuinely, like I do this with my mum sometimes. Like, she'll like be complaining about the wasp buzzing, and it's like a lot of men would be like, "Oh, I'll go fix that. I'll go stop the wasp from buzzing." But just give her love. She doesn't actually care about the wasp buzzing. Like, it's not like wasps buzz. Like, it is what it is. Like, it just like. Like it just is what it is, right? Like, it's just wasps buzzing. Like that's what they do. Right? Like, sometimes they come in and sometimes they buzz it, and it's just if you can stop trying to like fix all of these problems and just give her love first, and then fix her problems, because after you've given her that love, it'll just take away most of the problems for you, and then just fix any problems left. So if your room being a mess is still a problem, then just tidy your room. Honestly, like, just tidy your room, bro. Bro, you can either tidy your room now, or you can tidy your room in 5 years, right? And within now and that 5 year period, you're going to have your mom complaining and complaining and complaining about your room because it's a deep problem. And I could explain this, but it's very big. Okay. So I hope you learned that giving a woman physically expressed love is the number one way to stop her from creating this sort of stressful situation. Because, like, female emotional drama is one of the most, like, hilarious, but for you, probably stressful things that you can find. Because they will stress about everything. Like, the wasp buzzing. Like, if there was a wasp in the room buzzing, and you've got a woman next to you, and she feels a bit unloved, she will literally complain about the wasp buzzing, about the flipping sound of the cars going by, about, like, how the entire world's against her, like, oh my gosh, like, this didn't happen and this didn't happen. She'll just come up with, like, things that you wouldn't even have thought of. Like, it's just, it's honestly hilarious sometimes, bro. But if you can just come up with, like, if you can just give her some love, then they ain't problems, bro. She's just sitting down, relaxed now. And yeah, there's this one problem she's having. Okay, we'll work that out, right? But a lot of the time, like, if she has, like, under 10 problems, a lot of the time, like, there'll be no problems left. No problems to fix. And you'll literally just be happy. And she'll be happy. And I find that a lot of the time, the next day she'll still be happy. And she'll even sometimes do something for you. Like, obviously don't, like, expect this. Like, you shouldn't be expecting other people to, like, oh, okay, well, if I do this, you better be doing this. And, like, if you don't do this, then that's not fair. And, like, don't be that sort of guy. Like, I find a lot of guys are like this. Like, if I do this, then you've got to do this, and if I do, like, it's just a sort of back and forth. Like, it's not an arrangement, bro. It's like, give her love, and she might do something for you, and you know, it's just a quick note, you know. So there is a lot of benefit. Like, I find whenever you give someone anything, you always get something back in return. Sometimes there's a delay, but honestly, like genuinely, bro, a lot of the times, like, almost like, I feel like every time you do something good for someone, you get something back in return. When you think deeply about it, it's like, yeah. And, like, bro, you'll probably get something back in return, but that probably shouldn't be your motive for doing it, right? So you'll call the stressful situation, and maybe the next day she'll buy you something you like. Like, I don't know, whatever shit is, or make you toast. Like, how lovely, make you toast, yeah. But that's sort of just a side thing, like. And please don't be that sort of guy who's just like, okay, look, I'm gonna make you smile, but I want breakfast tomorrow. Like, it's just dumb, right? It's just, oh yeah, let's shake hands on that. It's like, nah, we're not doing that. And then, anyway, the last one. This one is pretty good. I honestly, I read multiple chapters for this one in a really good book. It's world famous. Like, I think over 10 million copies sold. So this is really good, right? It was literally written like almost 100 years ago. So these are like some people hear over 100 years ago and think, oh, well, that won't work today. But people are still talking about how great it is to this day. So it's like, bro, these principles have lasted almost 100 years. Like, that's how powerful they are. And I've literally combined a bunch of them for you in this next tip, which is how to avoid pointless arguments. So my first point is that arguments are pointless. And you might not figure this out yet, but they are. So if you think about it, right? Say you have an argument with someone. How do you feel after the argument? You've heard him and you've heard yourself. I find that every single time I feel like I'm more right than when I came into the argument. Every single time. Like, I used to have so many debates with my friend. Like, every single time I came in, I would feel less certain on my argument until I came out. And then I come out and I feel like, yes, this is the right way. And I'm sure that my friend felt the exact same way. In fact, this book confirms that he felt the exact same way. I haven't got it like right in front of me, it's over there, but you know, like, it's just so grateful. 9 out of 10 times, two people walk away from an argument feeling that they are more right than when they came into it. So, really? Arguments are not really necessary. Now, this is not a disagreement. There's a difference between a disagreement and an argument. An argument is like an aggressive disagreement. A disagreement is just two people disagree. Disagreeing is fine. In fact, disagreeing is like necessary and important. If two people never disagree, like, there's like a 99.99% chance that one of them is just being dishonest, and that's not very good, right? I'm not saying be dishonest. You can have as many disagreements as you want, right? But don't have sort of arguments about, oh, I'm right about this and you're right about this, because you'll just end up in this sort of like endless feud of just, and you're not even like, you imagine in your head you're trying to save someone or you're trying to change someone's mind and you're like this sort of hero, when really you're just making him think that he's more right by arguing with him. Because he now cares more about that because he's argued for it. It's like, honestly, like, I think there's this quote, like, we form new beliefs in an instant and then fight to the death to defend them. That's not an old quote. It's something I just came up right now, but it's sort of formulated from an old quote. But like, genuinely, some people fight to the death to defend beliefs that they formed in a second. So don't feel like your beliefs are so like, you know, strong and well grounded and incredible. But even if they really are, like, I think some of mine are pretty good. But who knows, bro? I'm still open to disagreements and that. But what's the cure for this argument? Well, it's literally just this. Before you want to go into a disagreement, so say you say your opinion and someone else says something counter to that. This is how you start, directly after that. You admit you may be wrong. You would then admit your own mistakes, and then you praise the person who just disagreed with you before going into a disagreement. And that will just make the other person feel so much more better and just not want them to argue with you. And as long as you don't want to argue with them, which you probably won't, then you won't have an argument, and instead it will just be a little disagreement. That would be so much more helpful, so much more healthy, and a lot less stressful, right? So what you do, you just do that, right? So let's disagree on something. What's something that basically everybody would disagree with if I just said? I don't know, like, I don't want to say something like completely outrageous, but I don't know. Okay, the Earth is flat, right? I'll go with that. I don't actually believe that, but like pretend like I do. Okay, so say I say the Earth is flat, like, bro, the Earth is like actually flat, and then you're like, oh no, the Earth is round, bro. Like, idiot, mate. Don't do that. Don't do that. So you say instead, say, bro, the Earth is round, but I may be wrong. Like, literally, like, admit that you may be wrong. I'm saying that the Earth is flat, but you've still got to admit that you may be wrong. You don't know, bro. You're not this enlightened guy. You know, in reality, probably like 99.999% of everything in the world we are ignorant about, if we're completely honest. Do you know the theory of relativity? Like, probably not, right? Do you know the history of Einstein and when he was born and like how many, like, what he was doing on his 14th birthday? Like no, bro. Because you're ignorant about it. So almost admit your own ignorance. Even if I'm saying the Earth is flat, which is obviously wrong, you literally tell me, literally say to yourself that you may be wrong and I may be right. And if you do that, I, who believes that the Earth is flat, would be more open to the idea that the Earth is round. And that's so much more better. So I say the Earth is flat, you say the Earth is round, and then you say I may be wrong, and then you talk about your own mistakes. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, yo, I used to, yo, when I was a kid, This is a true story. When I was a kid, like very young, I literally thought that the world was black and white before the year 2000. I'm not even kidding, bro. I literally, because all of the old movies were in black and white, I thought that as you were walking around town, everything would just be black and white. Like literally, like I thought like this. I'm trying to look at some color. Like I thought like, oh, I can't look at that. I thought like, I'm trying to like. I thought like this rapper would be black and white, like in real life. Like that's how my brain worked. Like I literally, that's how it worked. Like I'm admitting my own mistake. Like obviously it's not, right? And then in the year 2000, suddenly color was created, and now everybody's got color, and it just it's hilarious because all of the new movies had color. Anyway, your color was literally invented in the 60s as well, so I was way off. But yeah, bro, like literally. So there, I'm admitting my own mistake, and that's sort of similar to the Earth is flat. So you admit that you may be wrong about the Earth being round, and then you admit the fact that you used to think that, like, I don't know, whatever it is for you, it'll be your own personal mistake, so it'll obviously be, like, specific to you. But mine is, like, I used to believe that everything was black and white. But, and then after you do that, praise the other person. You seem pretty clever. You seem like you know what's going on, you know? I like your haircut. Your eyes are pretty good. I don't know, bro, like, just compliment them in some sort of way and be honest and sincere about it. Don't be like, oh, yeah, you're okay, so you're cool. Like, just like, be honest, right? Like, find something that you can actually praise about them. Like, and everybody has something to praise about them, unless they're like literal witch, and like most people aren't. So, find something to praise about them. Like, say you seem to know what you're talking about, just something like that. You've had some good ideas in the past, just something like that. Like, do you remember that idea you had about this, and that was actually pretty good? Do you remember that time in class when you did this, and like I really enjoyed that, and like, just praise them in some sort of way. So, for example, you could praise me because bro, you're so great. Like, you make these videos, and like you've been really helping me recently, and like so that's what you do if you're going to in a disagreement with me. So that's what you do. So we'll go over the whole thing now. I say it out loud to everybody, the Earth is flat. And then you say, the Earth is round. And then you say, oh, but I might be wrong. And then you say, you know, I've been wrong in the past. I used to believe that everything before the year 2000 was black and white because the movies were. And then say, you seem like you know what you're talking about. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about the facts. Honestly, if you say that, you'll never have an argument again. If you start every single disagreement with that guy ain't gonna disagree with you. Unless he's having a joke, like, oh yeah, I believe the Earth is flat, bro. Unless he's having a joke, like, no one's gonna argue with you, bro. Because you just admitted you may be wrong. Because you just literally admitted your own mistake. Like, when you do something, it'll make the other person more likely to do it. When you admit you may be wrong, you'll make the person you're disagreeing with more likely to admit they might be wrong. When you admit your own mistakes, you'll make the other person more likely to admit their own mistakes about their beliefs. If their beliefs are mistakes, right? Because they might be true and you might be wrong. But like it might happen sometimes, bro. So you're gonna have to be a bit open to that. And then if you praise the other person, they'll be more likely to praise you back. It's just how it works. So imagine this. I say the Earth is flat, you say the Earth is round, and then you say your little bit that you've probably remembered by now. You actually say it now. I'm going to see if you've remembered. Okay, almost. Yeah. There we go, bro. Come on. Like, that's what it is, bro. You got to get in that order. That was really good. Yeah, I'm happy with you. And then after that, I might be like, oh, well, I mean, like, I know there's a lot of evidence for the Earth being round, and like, I might be wrong. Like I don't know if Oh, you know what? Like, I'm fine. I don't think that's such a great belief anyway. Like, you know, you're actually quite smart. Like, let's be friends, bro. Like, you just made a new friends out of an argument, bro. Like, isn't that so sick? Like, genuinely, if you can start your arguments with that, that will honestly, it will completely transform your arguments, and you'll genuinely like if you can start your conversations with that. I'll be very surprised if you can turn that into an argument. Like, you'll have to be a really bad social skills guy to turn that into an argument. You know, I used to debate with my friends so much, bro. Like, looking back, they were probably all pointless. Like we were sort of just. I feel like we were just having a row and like just for fun. Like, and yeah, it was fun, honestly. But the things we were talking about, it wasn't really the best way to change people's minds or to grow a new friendship, especially. So, if you just do that, you can still have your disagreement, but it won't turn into an argument that will like something be stressful and annoying, and like you don't even change their mind anyway, and it's like just. And that was how to manage really tight and stressful situations. Wow, geez, bro, like, that was a lot, bro. Like, I really tried hard with this video. I hope you can tell. Um, yeah, I think that was good. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you learn a lot. So I said at the start that I recommend you just take one of those because it's a lot. I recommend you take one of those, and then you really try and implement it. And then if that works wonders for you, then you can come back and try another one, right? And then just go through that process. And if you end up using all four, that would be insane, bro. Like, you'll literally, bro, you'll be like an actual expert on like stressful situations. Yeah, I recommend you do that, bro. But anyway, my name is Sam. Our name is Seven. Fix your brokenness for your purpose, because I love you.